People tend to think about Tantra in terms mainly about sex, about the sort of sexy waxiness of it. And that is one fun part, but it is just a tiny, tiny part. Tantra is much more about what it is to feel alive. It's about the art and practice of transformation, of the ability to meet the moment in creative and juicy ways. So Tantra is especially useful when it feels like your life or the world is falling apart and there's a sense of like the old systems are unraveling and we don't know what to do. But you can always engage no matter what is happening, whether life is like delicious or extremely painful. You can engage the art of transformation and the practices of transformation. And so some of those principles of Tantra that are super useful in these moments is the idea that everything is an experiment. So whatever we do with consciousness, so that through the doing of it we learn something, is essentially an experiment. But you have to gather the data. People do a lot of experimenting. They don't gather the data and they don't learn, and then they don't learn anything. So the key is to like do an experiment. So your life is like a living laboratory. Your being is a living laboratory. And then you get to keep tweaking the experiment of your own life in your own days. And another principle is the idea of the healing power of pleasure. So that can seem a little crazy town when life is like falling apart or feels like life is like, blah, like do you like, oh, the healing power of pleasure. But pleasure also is often held in a very limited way. But pleasure is vast. Pleasure is our ability to soften and open, to let the holy find us, to let inspiration find us, to truly meet another, to awaken, to like find what truly lights us up. Like pleasure is vast. And we need to be really friggin' resilient right now. We need to find our resilience, and we need to find it in creative ways that allow us to rest in our own beings, soothe our nervous systems, find pleasure and goodness, and essentially sink deep enough into ourselves and into the ground of being so that new ideas, goodness can emerge.